Yeah, so when you worked for ChargePoint, I was looking at ChargePoint equipment when I was trying to make a decision on what equipment I was going to go with. And quite frankly, in all of my investigation, you were the only person that I connected with that had the answers for my questions and took the time, quite frankly, to work with me and help me understand the EV charging world, which is extremely confusing. It was very new to me. I didn't understand it. So you helped walk me through the process. And that's when we connected. And then from there, you launched from ChargePoint and went to EVready. And I was comfortable to work with you and was happy to continue to work with you. And then you kind of helped hold my hand through Ford. It was the first we got together with the Ford process. Then we moved into the Hyundai and then ultimately into Genesis, so that the whole platform is ChargePoint at the moment.
So it's, when you start a new company, it's hard to get very credible folks to work with you. So thank you for making it easy to start. And obviously we've evolved over time. Can you talk a little bit about like the strategy behind how you thought about, what type of chargers to install, or what the experience that you wanted to be both for your customers, for drivers that are out in the wild, and for your employees to talk about a certain experience?
Yeah, sure. Again, I go back to, it was confusing to try and figure out what system to go with, what company to go with. You helped guide me through that at the time when you were with ChargePoint, and even after you've been steadfast with ChargePoint. So we chose ChargePoint, and then we're on 38 acres of land here. We've got 3 franchises here, and I did not want to give, starting off with the employees, I didn't want to give the employees a confusing experience with charging stations that were brand new, right? No one knew charging stations. So I didn't want to have 2 or 3 different companies that operated differently for the employees. So we elected to go with ChargePoint across the whole platform for ease and for the employee, but equally for the customer. Because if the employee's confused, the customer is probably going to get confused, right? And then we've got one team that manages all of the EV hardware to include the dashboard. And I didn't think that it would be user-friendly for the 2 gentlemen that are heading this up to have 3 different platforms, right? I wanted them to have one platform, understand one platform, and understand the nuances of one company, because it was going to be a learning experience. It is a learning experience for them as well. So that's why we chose one company to go with. As you remember, we were in the construction trailer and we were talking about the location of the chargers and how they're connected to all of our wiring. And originally the architect designed it where our fast chargers and all of our EV chargers were going through the exact same power system as the dealership.
Yes.
So we would have no way of separating our EV charges versus our building electrical bills, right? There was no way to separate that. And then the other point that you pointed out, which definitely was a home run, was that the charging stations are going to run up our bill, getting us to the next level of charges for kilowatts through Lakeland Electric.
Yes.
So your suggestion was to separate it and to get and to bring in an additional transformer and a separate transformer just for all of the EV within the dealership.
Yeah.
Which luckily the municipality brought that in, no additional cost to us, and that's going to help keep the surge charges away from us.
Yeah.
Because we won't be running EV charging along with building electric.
Yeah.
Which would potentially could have given us surcharges and jacked our bill up tremendously. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. It's interesting because there are some locations where that's the solution. And then there are some locations where the answer is the exact opposite. It's actually to put it on a going lot, but it really depends on every circumstance. But this one was a really quick, easy button. I remember the gentleman at the utility said, "This is just good business."
Yeah. He did.
Which is awesome because you don't get that with every utility. Can you talk a little bit about like public charging infrastructure? I think like that's like one of the major anxieties that people use as to like why they don't want to buy an electric car. So can you talk about, you bought the most advanced fast chargers in the world that will be able to grow in power over time.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about like the importance of a public fast charging hub between Orlando and Tampa in 2025?
Yeah. So it's just, we are located in between, as you pointed out, Orlando and Tampa. We're a mile and a half off of I-4, which is a major artery. And the jury is out yet to how long I will keep it as an open platform, because I don't know just how busy we will get. I mean, I'm not in the charging business. That's not what I do.
Yeah.
And parking spaces are extremely important.
Yeah.
And the parking spaces, if all jammed up with people charging, is this a positive or is it a negative? Do we have an opportunity to sell them a new vehicle? Do we not have an opportunity? I just don't know what that landscape looks like yet. Right now, we're open. The public can see our charging stations, what time they're available, and what's a fast charger, what's not a fast charger. So we're just going to kind of experience it and see how that works for the public. Right now, it is open to the public.
Do you think like there could be a point in time where it could be like a customer only charger? Potentially,
we'll see. It's been a short period of time, and the systems are being used all day.
Yeah.
So the flip side to it is, does it help me generate income?
Yeah.
Or maybe not income, but does it help me offset the expense?
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's kind of what and we'll find out. And that's we're going at it to see if we can pick up customers who aren't our customers, and to see if it can help offset expenses.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think like one thing that we're looking to set up is loyalty programs tied to the software, and how to set it up so that, for example, someone comes in and maybe they're public charging today, but they're getting some type of an incentive towards a future vehicle purchase or something like that. And I think that's kind of like what dealerships are trying to figure out is, how do we actually use the software to incent people to buy cars? Yeah. Why would you recommend customers work with EVready in the future, especially car dealerships that are either have already installed chargers or will be installing them in the future?
Knowledge, right? I mean, it's one of the things that's not my wheelhouse. I own and operate a car dealership, and all of my employees operate a car dealership and have knowledge of fixed ops or parts or sales or service. We don't have the knowledge of EV. We don't know how we interface with our municipalities. You're doing that every single day, and you understand it more than I understand it. So it definitely has helped streamline our knowledge. We've learned a heck of a lot more because you brought the knowledge to the table that we didn't have. And, it's kind of like I use an owner's rep to build all of our buildings. I use an owner's rep because the owner's rep knows about the construction, and I don't. So he has saved me thousands of dollars using an owner's rep. And clearly you have helped save the company definitely a lot of money in putting in the right equipment, working with the municipality, helping our electrician do the right things, and speeding up the process, which has been a slow process, not because of you, but has been a slow process. But definitely, if to do it again, I would absolutely use you and your service again.
Thank you. And hopefully with the intention of long term, we can use all of these investments to help sell more cars.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Cool. Well, thank you.
Absolutely.